Okay. Okay, let's let me open my. Last time we discussed about the Aura component having which can able to fetch the data from the Apex controller. Now we discuss about how to work on the Aura with a list of components, means list of records. Okay, we discussed that how this is going to be created, how the variables are working, how we able to call the Apex. Okay, these all things we discussed, and we have also checked that how to see that how to see the logs and all those things. So it's a kind of thing. Now we am going to now I'm going to, what should I do, the whatever the details are entered from here, I'm going to insert those details in the contact records. So for that, let's work on our Oracle component. So via helper, I'm sending the details, only first name. Let's also send the last name and email. Fairphone. And at last, email. Okay, since I am sending those details to this Apex class, so it means that I need to update my Apex class to accept those parameters. So let's update that Apex class too. So open the Apex class, my first Aura component controller, Aura controller. Okay, since it is accepting the first name, let's make it also accept the other things. This. Okay, it will accept. Now I'm going to insert those details inside the Salesforce. So let's insert the detail. Process is still same. How we are doing the previously, we declaring a new contact object. Okay, in that a contact object, we will just put that first name equal to this first name con dot last name equal to last name con dot phone equal to phone that we are capturing from here, and then con dot email equals to email that is we are capturing from here, and after that we are just going to insert that cont, and then after the insert I will return the cont ID. Okay, and let's also make it more it's more working good. I will put a try catch so that any exception we have got, ch catch, any exception we got, we will throw the error with message. What will be the error message? Okay, so now our Apex method is completed. Now what I'm going to do that I'm going to here and I'm going to insert a record, and if the record got inserted correctly, so it will, what will we do that it will return the this contact ID, newly inserted contact ID it got returned. So let's have a look. Okay, and then I will click on the call Apex. Component is not defined. Let's check what is he saying, that why it's saying that component is spelling mistake. Oh, sorry, there is a spelling mistake. Yeah. Once the record got inserted, it shows the ID. Let's capture that ID, copy that ID, and let's check that it's creating or not. What's the detail it will have? Yeah, you can see all the details are get populated over here. So in this way, we are able to pass the values to the Apex controller and create a records. Okay, let's work on an example that saying that let's fetch out the details from a contact records, and let's see how it will work. So right now we are just passing the values, and after that we are what we do that we will fetching all the details from the controller. So let's have a look that how we can design this type of thing. So I will create a new component. I'm leaving this one as it is blank. I'm closing all other tabs. Let's put instead of application at first or a component. Let's comment it out. And design this, add the second order component. Okay. Let's check it's populating over here or no. It's coming up correctly, no issue in that. Now let's design a thing that how we can populate that list of records from how we get the list of records and display over up here. So for doing that, let's have a look at that first we need to fetch out the details from the Apex controller. So let's first create an Apex controller that will fetch out all the list of contact and send it to the Aura component. So let's first create a Apex class. Yeah, it's created. Now let's adding this remain same or enabled public static. That is always remain same since I need to return a list of contact. So I will make a return type list of contact and get contact list will be the method name. Okay. What if we do that? It will return a list of contacts. So how we can do that? We just declare a list. Okay, I'm fetching the all the contacts whose email is not equal to null, and I'm going to return this. You can say that we can do it more advanced version. Means this is the way how we are doing previously. Let's change the way and learn some different things. Means instead of doing, since we know that the this query is a return type of list of contact, so we don't need to declare these kind of things. Means these number of lines. We just directly what we can do that. We just we directly write something like that. Okay, it will also work, no issue in that. So we just directly return because we know the data types, so we just directly return that thing, so it will work fine. Now what we need to do, that we need to make a helper that will capture this detail from the Salesforce and displays. So let's make a helper for this that will fetch the details. So for getting that thing, let's first copy the method from our existing helper. Okay, I'm copying a method from existing helper. I'm coming up here. Where is my second, and in the second I'm going to second helper, second or a component helper, and then I'm changing the method name. Get and I'm going to paste up here. Okay, now helper method is ready. uh, Ready only when we have to just make some changes. This method we don't need the apex param, so let's remove that. After the response I need to see the response, so let's log that. Apart from that, everything is good. Now I need the controller that will call, and since this list of the component, list of the records will display when whenever the component loads, it will query. Means it will not wait for a button to action to trigger. Means in the previous example, you can see that we hit the buttons, call apex button, then it will fetch out the details. Suppose we have a requirement that whenever the component loads, it will do automatically fetch the details from the Apex server. So what we have to do at that time, we have to do use a handler for this, whose name is init handler. Okay, you can see we have to use an init handler. What will we do that? Uh, its functionality is to that whenever the component load, it start and when wrap up. Means in this start it execute and just means it's a one time. Means whenever the component initialize, it will execute, and thereafter it will not execute. So let's take a help of that. So as you can see that in this handler, there is a name. Name is just the name of a handler. In the value we are passing this means the component instance. We are passing the component instance, and in the action we are using c dot do init. C, you can know that C means that controller, this controller, and init do is, and C dot means it means that it's execute this method whose name is do init. So let's create a method whose name is do init. Okay, So whenever the component loads, it will call this method. Let's check it out. Console. Okay. So let's refresh it and check. Yeah, continuously checking the console. So once the component loaded, it will show the. I think I haven't saved the component part. Let's save this. So whenever component loads, it shows init over here. Okay. So whenever component loads, it shows init. It means that whenever component load, it execute this method. So whenever the component loads, if we want to execute any method, so we just use the init handler. What will you do that whenever the component load, it execute whatever be the present in this init. So in this init, I will call the helper to get the details from the Salesforce server. Get contact list. Okay, it's giving me error that if you are unable to find the contact list. Why it is giving the error? Because we haven't bind the controller. Let's find the controller, Apex controller. Now we can see that from the server, I'm getting the list of these contacts. You can see. Okay, from the server, I'm getting a list of these contacts. Okay, so what I get, it will do that. Since now I want to display those contacts, so it means that it is a list. No, it is a list of records. So let's check how we process on the list. Then we check that how we process on the list of records. So let's check that how we process on the list. So for processing on the list, there must be a list of variables. So let's declare an Aura attribute. Yeah, let's copy it from here. Aura. It should be list. Let's make default value to be. Okay. Now, in order to work with the list, just like that, we in the Apex or in the other languages, we are using for loop to operate on the list. Similarly, we have in the Aura component, we have also have called Aura iteration that will work on the list. So let's work on that. That will help to iteration. So let's come up here. Okay, let's copy this. Okay, it has similarly it has two parameters. First one is a list that will accept the list. Second is the variable. The same in the same way what we are doing in the where in the VF page we also do see the same thing. It says all right, sorry, Apex repeat, and it's a values and where. Similarly, in the Aura we have Aura iteration, and in the Apex we know that there is a for, then there is a list of item and its variable name. The concept has always remained same. Only the only the name is going to changing. So let's have a let's put the list of our list over up here. So just remove it and put the list v dot. We put the list and let's its variable name is let's food. Now I'm going to display that food name over up here. So once I save, let's check. You can see that our my food names are displaying up here. Yeah, my food names are displaying up here. So if now since it is displaying up here, so I can do the customization over up here too. And you can also see that here I'm using the v dot food name, and here I'm not using v dot food name because this is not a this variable is coming from the aura attribute, and this is not an aura attribute. This is just a normal variable, so that's why we are not using the value provider for this. Okay, so since it's coming up from since it's coming as a name, and we can make customization over up here. Let's have a look at how we can customize. Suppose I just want to instead of displaying the list, instead of displaying that item, something like that, let's work with that. Just make some customization over up here. Mm, SLDS. Right. So what I will do, I will let's check a list on something vertical list. Let's work on the vertical list. Mm, okay, let's copy this. This one looks good. So show code. I will copy this from here and paste it just above this, because I need to check and then I will make changes. I copied it from here and let's refresh it. So it's showing correctly. Let's make changes so that it will show our items over up here. So these are showing in that li. So let's cut it here from here, and let's make it here to here, and close the li and remove this one and save it. If I refresh it again, what should it will do? It will make it more arranged. And if I do I need to make some more changes, I will uh, just type food items, and now it will show food items, then all those. Okay, so we can do customization over the iteration. Just whatever the customization we want to do, that we just we can do the customization over the iteration. And what will we do, that whatever is the present inside the iteration, it will do in a loop, and then whatever with the output, it will display up here. So we can do the customization on the or iteration too. So these will help us to that do the customer. And since it is bind with since it is binded with app or attribute, so any changes I made up here, it will also directly reflect it here. So let's have a look at how we can make changes over up here. Let's create a button that will add an element into that food item. So we can dynamically change that element. So for adding a button, just go up here, copy the button. going to use this button. And let's add item. Handle add item. Copy from here, go to the controller, create a new method, and okay. So I created a new method. Now, since I need to add into this, add a value into this list. So what I will do that I will first I need to access that list. So let's access that list where uh, food items, food items, food item list, and that we can get that component dot get and site v dot food item food list. Okay, food list. First we capture that food list, and then we can add a new element. For adding a new element, we have a variable called dot push. Just push new, added, and then once a new element is added into that list, then we have to set that new list value into that our original list item. So I come up here, and then I will just set the new value. Okay, when I click on this, a new element will be added. Whenever I click on this, a new element will be added into the list. So in this way, we can change the or mold the way that how we can also design a input field. In that input field, when someone enters some value and hit that add item, that item will goes added into this list. So these kind of things we can do. That means just we just have to just push that new value over up here, and it will add that value into our list. So in this way we can work on the list of items. Means how we can add an element from a list of items. Suppose we need to remove an element, so what will do that we again just go up here and take it to the variable, and on the basis of index we can remove that particular element from the list. So in this way we will able to we can able to do operations over the list of items. So let's come back to our original situation that we need to display that list of contact that we are getting from a server. So as you can see that in order to display a list of details, I need a attribute that will store all the lists. So for that same thing, using the same concept, I will just declare a list of contact list, and type will be as object, or just make it list. It will also do the same, and there will be no default value. Just remove the default value, and just assign a value into that list. So I'm coming to my helper, and whatever the response I'm getting from that Apex controller, I will just paste that response. I will put that response into our contact list. Okay. Now I added the contact all the values into my contact list. Now let's have a look on that how we display that list. So let's put HR over here. So it will got separated. Now since we again had to work on the list, so let's copy the iteration value and paste up here. And since we need to work on the list, so contact list, so I just change the items to contact list, and then on the variable I will put the contact, and then let's display the contact name, contact first name. So I will come up here and copy the contact dot name, sorry, first name. Okay, I save it. So let's refresh. Okay, there is some issue. It was not working, but it displaying the names were up here, but not displaying the, because I haven't added the exclamation mark. Let's add the exclamation mark. So refresh it. So now you can see that all the names are populating up here. Okay, all the names that we are getting from that contact, it's displaying here, but it's not looks good. Let's put that name in a proper way. So let's design a table. So for the designing a table, let's again go back to our SLDS, Lightning Design System, and choose a table that will help us, means that will so let's choose this table, copy the code. Let's copy it. I had copied the code, and now come up here and paste it. So always you have to do just copy the code and paste it on your location. And first thing is that just remove the unused unwanted code from here. I removed the one unwanted code from here, and since I just need to display the name, so I remove this name. And what I will need to change that, instead of opportunity, I will make it contact, and contact, and then remove this one, and I also remove all those things, since yeah, now it's not showing contact. Okay, I make something and hit the save. I just first take a look at that, how it looks like, then move further. So so it's a contact name is showing up here, and one column is showing up here. Now it's working, looks like good. Now I need to display these names over up here. So in order to display these names, what should I have to do? I just have to use the our iteration concept, that I can do customization in the aura iteration. So just I will do the same thing. I will just copy the aura iteration from here and paste it over the tr here, paste below the tr. And then what will be the contact first name, I will copy it from here and paste it over here and also here. So and now I'm going to refresh it. So what it will do, that what will be the name presented in that, it first name, it will display something like this way. Okay, it will display something like this way. Since it fetching out lots of records, let's truncate the number of records. Let's put a limit over there. It will show 20 records only. It will show 20 records only. So and it should ordered by name. Okay, now it's got ordered by name and showing me 20 records on the basis of name. Now suppose I want to add some few more columns over up here. Suppose I want to display the phone, last name and phone and all those things. So what I will do, I will just go to that our component. In that component, I need to, since I need to add one more column, so I will first add, just like it's quite simple, but just the thing that were the is using the normal table concept. So I need to one more column. I just need I will add the one more header. In that header, I will add some contact last name, and in this iteration, I will add a one more td. and in that TD I will write contact last name, and last name I need to check that it's L is capital or small. Last name is this one, so let's copy this. Now you can see that it's showing the last name. Similarly, we can also do that. We can show phone or email. Let's display the phone or email too. Now I can see that it's displaying the phone and email. So one more thing that that's making a point up here, that the phone name is not means if I look at this phone name, it's coming up here, and once I click on this phone name, it's making a call. Similarly, if I click on that email, it will open my default email thing. Yeah, it will open my default email thing, and it will let me to send an email. And if it is publicly available, then it will open that our default email address, sorry, default email position, so where we can send an email. So we can also implement these things, because for implementing these things, we just need to go to our component library and search for phone, yeah, format phone, and copy that and tag over from here. I copied this and paste it over here, and change the variable. We have to value this and remove this one. Save it. Now it looks like now its color will change, and once I click on this, it will ask to make a call. Okay. Similarly, I need to make changes in this email too. Let's make changes in this email. For making a changes, again I need to go to up here, or instead of format phone, there is a format email. Okay. There are so many things. If you look at the formatted, yeah, you can say that address, date, time, location, email. There are so many numbers and all those things, URL, everything is available up here. You can whenever you have such kind of field, you can do come up here and do format. Sorry, here, and formatted email. Just copy it from here. Let's copy all this. Paste here. Okay. Now I can say that it got changed, and once I click on this, it will open my email to send that to this email address. So it's a yeah, you can see that it's already populated up here, because it's not inside the Salesforce. That's why it's not opening the Salesforce thing. Okay, so in this way, whenever we have got a requirement to format the things, then you just have to come up our what is Lightning component library, and take whatever with the formatting, and just do the format, and process for. Means always try to use the standard what are the component provided by the provided inside this component library. Just come up here and do that search for that particular thing and just implement that thing. Okay, so in this way we can display the list of items over up here and check that items how it's working. Means how we can display that items over up here. Let's put some more things. Let's have a look at that how we can put some actions over up here. So before going to that, just have you guys any questions?
No, I think it's okay.
Okay, so so let's take a break. After that, we will continue further for working with the actions, means how we can work with this edit and delete operation over the list of elements. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. Let's move to the next. So let's move to the some working with the some actions. So for working with the actions, means I want that end of this row, I want to add that edit button, edit and delete button, so that user can edit and delete from here. So for that, let's add one row, one column called action. And in that action, it should have two buttons. So let's put two buttons over up here. Mhm. Yeah, add it and delete. I will just use this one.
You are using LWC button.
Oh, sorry. Okay, edit and delete. Let's have a look at how it looks like. Okay, you can see we have an edit and delete button. Okay, so it will help us to edit or delete a record. So before moving to this, let's where is my component? So once we click on this button, once we click on this button, means means in order to you may remember that before moving to this stat, we all know that in order to edit a record, means update a record or delete a record, we need that ID of that record. Yeah, correct. So first, whenever we hit on this button, I need to capture the ID of that selected record. Okay, whenever we hit this button, I need to capture that ID of the selected record, and that is some tricky. This is the tricky part inside this Aura component development. So let's have a look at how we capture the ID from a table from a row. So search over there. Where is the data set? So for that, you need to create a tag called data ID. Yeah, you need to create a tag called data ID, and you can, on the basis of that, you can get that ID. So let's create this tag. I come up here and let's create a tag called data ID on both place, because I need in advance, once we hit on that, then also we want to get that ID, and once we click on that delete, then I also want to get the ID. The attribute data ID is not available, so might be STM. What is that? Lightning button. Lightning button, which has, there is some different way. I think we need to go to that custom thing. No, I think I need to go to that. SLDS. That will not possible, so I'm changing this thing. Instead of doing, I will use this SLDS. SLDS will help us to do everything. It's all, it will help to customization. Okay, so UI will not change. Let's have a look. Okay, let's add a data ID over here. ID. And ID is coming into contact.id. Before going to that, let's check that its ID is coming or no. So let's have a look. No ID is coming, capital I. So let's put capital ID and then use the same thing over up here. Okay, it got saved. Now let's bind on click over up here. So here on click, so that whenever user click on that, it will execute some action. On click handle delete click, or handle. Okay. Handle delete click. I just use two buttons over there, handle delete click or handle edit click. Just define two method over up here. For defining a method, I'm just copy pasting the thing and removing the component. And just copy from here, delete click, see, handle edit click. And in that handle, I need to just console.log that will help. Yeah, I'm able to get that. What is that? ID or no? So it's, I think, event.target.id, something like that. I need to write over there. And for record ID, let's copy. Paste here, paste here. Let's check on the log it's coming up here or no. Okay, let's come up here and refresh it. Okay, now whenever I click on this, it fetching the ID. Now we are able to get the ID. So in order to delete a record, what is happening that I need that ID, but I can't delete any record from that Aura component. For that, deleting a record from the Aura component, I still need the Apex controller. So let's get to the Apex controller and design a delete method over up here. So yeah, getting here @Aura enabled public static. And then let's do not return anything. Delete contact. And I need to get the ID of that record. So string record ID. So let's delete. Again, we need to do exception handling. Or a throw exception. I forgot. Let's open that thing. Throw exception. Yeah, as you can see that most of the things are you copy paste while developing, while working with the UI. Most of the things we need to copy and paste and just do the customization. Okay, or a handle exception whenever exception comes up is thrown, and let's delete the record. delete, and in order to delete, let's select ID from where ID equal to, okay, because deleting a record we just need an ID, so I'm just using that. So our controller part is completed. Now let's call this method in the Apex controller. Sorry, let's call this method in our Oracle helper. So for for doing that, let's copy and paste and get contact helper, delete contact helper. Let's make it call as delete contact helper, and in that's the method will be, I think it's delete contact. So let's change it to delete contact, and I need to set up params. So set params. I think I got something from it. Yeah, set params. And in that params, what I need, a record ID. Let's capture the record ID. And I will pass that record ID inside this function. From the controller, I will pass that record ID to the helper, and helper, so that helper use that record ID to pass that to the Apex controller. Okay. So that's it. It will. And now I come back here. I need to call this method. So I will write helper dot get contacts helper, and in that I will pass the our record ID. Sorry, not record ID. Because in the helper, first parameter is component, second parameter is record ID. So first parameter will be component, and second parameter will be record ID. So I will pass it here. Okay, so let's have a look that it will able to delete a record or no. I click on delete. From server, I getting null, but it's not removed from the list. Let's refresh it. So it's got deleted, but it's not removing from the list. But it's not refreshing from the list. So in order to refresh, means in order to again fetch out the data, what I will do that I need to this recall this helper method. This helper method, I need to recall this helper method. So in order to recall calling, because it is in order to calling a helper method, there is also a trick, means there is also a way to call. We need to declare a variable called self equal to this. This thing you need to call. It is a very important whenever you have to call a helper inside an helper. And then use that self to call the helper method. Self dot get contact helper. In that helper, since it asks for the component, just pass the component. So whenever I got the success, it will again fetch the data and refresh it. So let's refresh it here, and let's have a look. I click on delete, and it's got deleted. I suppose I click on that birth date, but it got deleted. So in this way it's working, means whenever you have to just work on that actions, we just have, first we need the ID of that particular records. So for getting an ID, we need to create a data set, because there is no standard way right now, there is no standard way to get that data ID from a row. And so in order to get the data ID, means in order to get the current record ID, we need to declare a data ID. Don't declare the ID, means I'm not means we can also get via the ID, directly via ID, but I don't know, I don't want to use that ID here, because in the HTML concept the ID will be unique throughout the page. So if I use the ID and here an ID here with the same value, so it's not a look like a good practices. But data ID we can make duplicate because it's designed to make duplicate. So always try to use that data ID instead of ID. Okay. So data ID, use the data ID means whenever we have a chances of to duplicate, then only that place you use the data ID, else don't use that. So use the data ID and get the data ID from here, and via this method means event dot event. Here the event comes plays the role. Event dot current target means current clickable event, and then we have a data set. This data is called data set. This data is called data set, and from the data set we are getting the ID. Okay, so in this way we are working, means in this way that we can get the current record ID, and once we get the current record ID, we are able to delete, edit, and do any event on that. Okay, so let's have a look at how we're going to edit that record. So for editing a record, I need to make this all the fields to be an editable mode. Means I need to these records can be edited. So for that, to in order to edit that thing, so let's design a pop-up. Whenever user click on that edit button, a pop-up comes here, and on that pop-up, it will enter the new values and hit the update button. Uh, uh, it's got updated. So let's have a look at that. So in order to create a pop-up, or we have to say called model. It's called as models. Okay, there is a model. It has a header. It has a cancel and save. Let's copy this code. It is, yeah, here it is the code. Let's copy this code and paste it in our component. Let's put a comment that model code, and I pasted it here. So I hit save. I need to make changes. So let's remove the SVG from here, all the SVGs from here, because SVGs are not okay. Save. Let's have a look at what's. I saved that. Now the model is appearing, but the thing is that it's appearing whenever the page loads. So I need to hide this model. Hide this model first when the page loads, and whenever the user click on the edit button, thereafter this model will show. So in order to hide or show any component on the or a component means on the in order to hide or show any section or any piece of a code or any table or anything, if we want to hide and show, for that what we have to do, that we have a attribute called aura if. Yeah, there is an attribute called aura if, that is that will use to hide and show any component, any piece of a code uh, on the component. So let's copy that code and let's paste up here. So it's an attribute called is true, means whenever it's true it will be show, and we have an else part. So I will just use, we have only true one component, so I will use only true part, and in this true part I will add my whole model, cut the model and paste up here. Okay, now it's truthy. I just let's make the variable to be more readable. So let's uh, is edit mode, edit mode enabled, yeah, something like that, edit mode enabled. Okay, so in the beginning I need to edit mode to be false, so let's declare an attribute called edit mode enabled, and its type should be boolean because it's only true and false, and by default initial value will be false. So whenever the page loads, it will not load it because initially it's false, so it will not load it, or it shows our standard component. So on the edit button, what should I have to do? I just make it true. So whenever I make it true, it's that that component will show. So for making it true, let's make it true. Component dot set. Concept is still same. V dot edit mode enabled, and I will make it true and hit save. Now reload it. When I click on edit, it's showing up here. And one more functionality, when I click on cancel, it has to be disabled, means it has to be gone. So just whenever I click on cancel, I will just have to, whatever I'll do, I will have to make it false. So let's create another method. Handle model cancel click. Cancel click, and in that I have to make it false. I created this method, and now I need to bind this method to our model. So let's go to the model, and in that model, so either I can choose, I can look at it is a standard button. I can use the lightning button. It's an optional thing. We can use the lightning button. We cannot use the lightning button. It's no issue in that. So let's where is that? Let's bind an on click over up here. Let's find an on click. Refresh it. Okay, now whenever I click on edit, it's showing, and whenever I click on the cancel, it will gone. So it's working fine. Now again, now the thing is that I need to customize this thing so that it will appear so that the details will appear up here. Means correct details will be appear up here. So whatever the details present in that contact will shown up here. So for that, let's clear up it up. For clearing it up, on the header, I just need to show only. Let's clear it up, and just on the header, you can see there is a header section. Just remove and add in the h2 tag, I will add edit contact. Okay. Now, and in this body, I will just make it to show only contents. Contact fields. I need to show that contact fields over up here. Let's save it and let's have a look at what it looks like. I refresh. Whenever I click on edit, it shows that edit contact, and here I need to add the fields that should be edited. And once I click on the save, those record will be saved. So let's put fields over up here. So in order to put the fields, again, I need to come back here. Input. Text. Let's copy, paste, 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 paste. Sorry, it should be text label. Instead of doing that, let's copy all the things from our previously we built that thing. So I'm just copying from there. Here I built previously, we built these things. So let's copy it from here. Okay, we built this thing. So I'm just copy it from here and paste it here so that it will work fine. So I add it. Now here we have 4 attributes, that 4 different variables. So since this contact is coming into a list, So let's create a object of a contact, and what will be the selected record I get it from that get whatever the selected record I get it from that, I will just put those values from here to here. So instead of doing instead of declaring 4 variables, means we can do use this 4 variables, but I'm not going to tell you about using these 4 variables, because suppose it's only 4 fields, so I can declare 4 variables. Suppose I have 100 fields, so it doesn't means that I have to declare 100 variables over there. So it's not a good. So for that, let's create an object that will store all those values. So for that, let's create a contact object. So let's create a as attribute called selected contact, and its data type will be contact. Let's say and t contact tct. Okay. Now I need to populate the values inside the selected contact whenever the user click on the edit button. So whenever the user click on the edit button, we get the record ID, and we have a list of record ID here. You can see that we have a uh, list of contacts available up here. So while using both two, I need to compare that in the list. I need to find that record ID, and once I find that record ID, I will assign that contact to this our selected contact. So let's do that. For that, let's create a method inside the helper. Means since we need to write a logic, so let's create a method. Method name is get selected contact. And I don't need that selected record ID. So first I need to get that contact list. So let's create a variable contact list, and it should be component dot get v dot contact list. So I got that v dot contact list. Let's console it. I console that contact list. Now let's do a loop over up here. Since it is a it is a JavaScript, so it will not follow the loop that we have learned inside the Apex. It's follow our basic loop concept, which is we will know that just like where I equal to 0, I is less than size of that contact length, and then I plus plus. It will follow our basic concept, and then in this concept I will compare the compare the ID to with the selected record ID. So that I index dot ID is equal to selected record ID. Whenever it's become equal to selected record ID, then what I have to do, I have to assign that assign that selected contact to this whatever the record I have found. So component dot set v dot selected contact. Okay, so whatever the selected contact I'm getting from here, I'm just assigning, and once assignment takes place, I just hit the break. Why I'm using break? Because I don't means suppose I find that match found on the second index, so I don't have to traverse the rest of the loop. So I just do the break, and after the loop, let's check that it's the selected contact is correct or no. So for that, let's check it's correct or no. So let's get that thing. Get and okay. Now I need to call this helper method inside here. Where is my edit mode enable? Helper dot get selected contact, and that I need to pass the record ID and component So let's do a refresh and check that console log is means I am able to get the record ID or no. So let's click on edit. Yeah, as you can see that I'm able to get the record ID. I know my 4 fields are coming up here, but I can check that that record ID. Suppose I click on the Alan insert email. So when I click on Alan insert email, it's showing me the first name Alan inserted email, last name, ID, and all this. So I'm able to get those values. So I need to just put those values over in my form. So let's put those values. Since I'm able to get those values, so since it's a two-way binding, as we know that it's a two-way binding, so I just need to copy and just make changes. Dot first name dot last name dot phone dot. So I just assign all those values. You can see that these are the values are assigned to my selected contact, and once the selected contact got assigned, so whenever I make changes, means that whenever I make changes, it will be coming up here. So let's have a look. Refresh it and hit edit. Now you can see that the last name, I think last name is spelling mistake. I think there is a spelling mistake. That's why it's not populating up here. But phone is populating, email is populating, first name is populating. Let's check that what's happened with the last name. N is a small. That's why. Let's make it capital because it's a case sensitive. JavaScript is a case sensitive. That's why. So let's put on edit. Now it's coming up here. It's coming up here. Now what I have to do that once user hit on the save user hit on this button, save button, I need to save that record. I need to save these values. So since again I need to save the records, so it means that I need to communicate with the database. So if I need to communicate with the database, I need to create a method inside our Apex controller to save that record. So let's have a look that go to our Apex controller here. Let's create a method or a So whenever we need to make a communication with the database, we need to create a method. Okay, and this since we are means we haven't created a four variables. As I look over up here, where is my component? My first, second, third, fourth, fifth. Yeah. No, we haven't created a four variables. We just created a single attribute, and that single attribute handle all those things. So similarly, in the Apex code, we don't need to create four attributes. We just need to create. We don't need to create four variables, just like previously we have done. We just create a single variable that will handle all those things. So let's. Where is my Apex? Yeah. Let's work on that. Let's create a single and whose data type is contact, and let's select it contact. Okay, and let's just do the exception handling, and inside that I just need to update the selected contact, nothing more, nothing less. Okay, so whatever the selected contact I'm getting from there, I just need to update it here, and once it's updated, I need to throw a response that hey, the contact is updated. So let's, instead of making that, let's make it a string and return success. I will just return a success, and else I will return error, a failed, update failed. Sorry. Okay, I had already used the catch. So whenever any exception occurs, it will throw that. So no issue. So selected contact comes up here and it will get updated. Now I need to call this method or need to call this method once the user click on the update button. So once the user click on this edit and this save button, then I need to call the this method. So since I need to call the method again, I need to go to our helper and create a method to update a record. So let's copy this thing and copy and then make paste and change delete to update contact helper. Everything remains same. I just need to change the method name. Method name is update contact, and we are passing a selected contact. So let's selected contact and we need to get now we are not we need to get it from component dot get v dot what is the variable name? Selected contact. Just copy that thing. So I got that collector contact and just and to console that whatever response I'm getting from the server, I will console that response and that's it. That's become I need to call this method from our save button. I haven't created that method. So let's create a handle model save click. Save click and from the helper I will copy the name and paste it up here and remove this record ID, save it. Now I need to bind this method. So let's bind this method to our button here. Let's click equal to c dot bind. Okay, I bind this method. Now let's have a look that it's able to update or no. So let's edit it. Parker new update and I hit the save. It's showing me success. Let's check that, and it's the two things I noticed that it's the model is not get closed and here the record is not refreshed. So I need to call these two methods. So let's call these two methods. Once it's finished, I need to in the success I need to call the refresh method. So refresh method is coming up from here. So let's call variables itself already present. I need to just call the helper so that it will fetch out the new details. And after that, here where it's now, I need to close that model. So I will come up here and just make it false, just so that model get closed and records get refreshed. I refresh it. It's updated, but it's not coming up here. So let's make it update TWIC twice and hit save. It's not updated. Yeah. So, and you can see that there is a one more thing, might be you have noticed or no. Whenever I click up here, just suppose I click up here and I remove this thing and hit save. So it's taking time to update. It's taking time to update. Yeah, you can see that it's taking time to update, but the model is closed. So it is not a good way. Let's it will be at that position until the record is updated. So instead of closing that helper, closing that model here, let's close the model whenever we got the success, means whenever we got the response. So here we're getting the response, and after the response it will close the model. Close the model once we got the response, and records will be refreshed. Okay. So this is the way how we are working with the actions, means how we edit a record, how we delete a record, and how we are working with the records inside the Aura components, how we delete a record, how we call how we declare methods, how we use the methods, and these kind of things, how we work on the list of items. Means we have also learned that how we work on the list of items, how we get the ID from the selected row. Means this is a row, and how we have to, what approach that we have to take in order to get the ID, what approach I have to take that whenever we have to click on edit button and the model will pop up and that model have fields to update, what the approach I need to take. I didn't have to create the so many variable, just create a single variable and use the advantage of the single variable to update that record. Okay, so these are the things that you should know while working with the Aura components. We will discuss more on that, more functionalities, more ways to handle, because we haven't discussed so many, means few things are also pending to discuss on that, how it's working with the Aura component. But always think, but the thing is that the concept will always remain same. How we are working at any place, means whenever you are working on the VF page or an Aura component or on the LWC, concept will always same. Means if you are working on any other language, or and instead of working on the Apex, then also that the concept will have the same. Just like that, I declare that whenever we have to declare so many variables, so don't declare whenever we have a situation that we have to work on the so many fields, so don't declare so many variable to store so many fields. Just declare one variable of the object type and use that property of that object to show up here. Okay, and whenever we have to work on the list, then we have to do this iteration, and iteration concept is always same. Either we are working on the Apex, then it says loop, means it says for, then we have a list of items, then we have a variable. That's the same thing. And either we work on the VF page, that we also see that it's a Apex repeat, and in the repeat we also have pushing the list of item and then variable. So the concept is always remains same, only the tags is changing. If you understand the concept, so it will not hard to handle all the coding, because UI is a most simplest part. I mean, UI designing is the most simplest thing inside a Salesforce. You can unless and until you find some which is not possible via Salesforce. That if you find something which is not possible via Salesforce, at that moment we will find some difficulty. Apart from the anything which is possible via Salesforce is the simplest, means most simplest thing to we can, means it's a easy, quite, it means it's lots of easy things, means it's an easy to design a UI inside a Salesforce, because most of the time you have to just copy and paste and make changes, copy and paste and make changes, nothing more. Okay, any questions?
Suraj, for this web pages, there is no, like, whenever we are getting field values, etc., there is no, like, what do you say, roles or permissions, anything. Because we are, as developer, we are giving this page, we are able to give
No.
all this access, right?
Nothing. If I don't have the permission, I'm not able to view this record just like that. For that, if you have to enforce the permission, means if I suppose some user don't have the permission to view this first name, not so it will throw an exception here. I need to handle that situation. Means the value will not comes up here.
So
Permissions are still applied.
So these pages, even these pages, will be viewed based on their permissions.
Yeah. It will also all the permissions are applied over here.
Okay.
And permissions are applied, and you know that there is two kinds of permission. One is field level security, another is record level security. So for field level security, means it's always applied. For record level security, you have to while working with the Aura component, or sorry, while working with the Apex controller, you need to, here we have to write a with sharing. So all the record level security will apply over this class. Okay, means if the record is shared, then it will apply, but field level security is always applied. Means, and record level security is optional while working as a developer. Means if we write here is with sharing, then it all the record level security is applied. And if I read the without sharing, then it will then none of the record level security applies this controller. Means suppose I have some of the user don't have to able to see some of the records, but if I write the without sharing, then it will they can able to see those records. So sharing rules is an optional, but field level security means field level security. You know that means suppose I make some first name or phone to be not visible to any user. So once I make it not visible, so these record values will not come for that user. This only phone field values will not come for that user. Okay, so permission is still applied, but there is no restriction over the permissions. Permissions are applied over up here. And that's a very good question that you have asked. Any more question?
Suraj,
Hmm.
everything we are doing in one page, and it is really difficult to understand for the managers as well because they don't know the coding writing. So, is there any way that we can separate the codes and like class by class, or I don't know how do you do in Apex? But like thinking about the Java, like we have classes, and from different classes we are doing and calling one class in another class.
Yeah,
So
we are
is there
using
any
inheritance.
way? Yes, yeah, inheritance.
Yeah, we can use the inheritance over here, but there is no we had used the inheritance while working with the trigger and the helpers.
Yeah,
No, we
especially
haven't.
the component class is very like difficult to understand.
Component class means the Apex controller or controller.js.
The other one, the
Helper
component.
component, this one.
Yes, yeah.
I think it's no. Means it's a quite means if you look at the code, that's actually it's not called from it's not follows the inheritance, so that we can means we can what we can do that is suppose I can design this table inside of some different component and call that component over up here, something like that. I can do that if you want to separate the code. Means I will design this whole thing inside a separate component and call that component over here. That will work, but there is no such a concept of that inheritance over up here.
Yeah, in our case is also like there are too many lines. In order to separate the lines, I mean, is there any way to see the from different component class? But I understand what you mean.
Means yeah, you can separate it. Means you just copy this code to copy this code to a separate component and handle all the situation. Because if I create a separate component, then I need to work on all these things. Means I need to handle click and all those things. So that's why I'm not. I will demonstrate that means afterwards, because it will take time to demonstrate that how we can call the component inside a component. So yeah, we can do that. We have to just in order to reduce the number of lines, what we need to do that we need to create a separate new component and just hand over all this code to that component, and that component will handle all the codes. And we just need what we have to do that we just need to call that component over up here. So this total line will become a single line. Okay, that total line will become a single line, and then we can do that. It's just like that. We can suppose we can also place this model code over in some different component and pass that values and pass this selected contact values to that component, and that component will handle every update related thing. So that is also possible. So it will once we learn the calling a more component inside another component, then we can find out.
Okay. For example, you say for calling helper inside the helper, we use var self this, right?
Yeah, we use
So
the variable self.
yeah, is it kind of like something like that?
No, it's not kind of something like that. It will not be something. It's a quite similar, just like that. We are calling here. It's quite similar to this one. We're just
Okay.
calling our component. Just like that, I can call the two components over up here. Okay.
Yeah, I got it.
So it will similar to that. I just need to call that component, nothing else.
Okay, thank you so much.
Okay, then if you don't have any question, then we're good. Okay, then bye everyone.